We have now had 4 straight primetime games where there were upsets. And the losers of the games, Super Bowl contenders. Last Thursday night, the Rams lose, 8.5-point favorites. Sunday night, Bills lose to your New England Patriots. Monday night, Chiefs lose as road favorites against the Jacksonville Jaguars. And then last night, touchdown favorites, the Eagles. Second straight loss, 2 losses since Sunday. They were 4-0 5 days ago. They woke up Sunday morning 4-0. If you're an Eagles fan, it's been a bad week. You woke up Sunday morning 5-0. You wake up Friday or 4-0. Yeah, nice job. 4-0. You wake up Friday morning, you're 4-2. That is a huge difference. And good morning, Michael Holley.
Good morning, Mike Florio. Could it be that ugly word that Pete Rozelle wanted, the Pete Rozelle dream? Could it be parity? Is that the reason for these upsets? Is that the reason that there are no longer any undefeated teams in the NFL, and it's just on the verge of mid-October? We have no undefeated. No. Oh, will they go? Will this be the first time we have a 17-0 team? Maybe it's just simply parity. Is that it?
It's funny to think that one of the Packers players after 2 games was talking about going undefeated, and they're 0-1 since then. And it could be, because through the first 3 weeks or so, I thought that we had a cluster of elite teams, a cluster of cluster fudge teams, and then everybody in the middle, and we'll see how it breaks. And it's been breaking. And some of the teams in the middle, some of the teams from the bottom have been rising up. And it just goes to show you that it is a long season. Teams change. Flukes happen. How can you explain the Giants on Sunday losing the way they did to a winless Saints team, and then winning 4 days later to a team that was unbeaten when the Giants-Saints game kicked off, and unbeaten into the fourth quarter, up 17-3? I mean, the Eagles should have been 5-0 going into last night's game, which would have made it even more jarring for the Giants to do what they did. And, you know, the Eagles have quickly gone, Michael, from that Kansas City Chiefs find a way vibe to can't find their way out of a paper bag vibe. It's just amazing how quickly it goes away.
The Eagles are, and I don't want to take anything away from the Giants and what they did last night, because what they did was really impressive. Jackson Dart looked good. Cam Scatterboot looked amazing last night near the goal line. Couldn't be denied. But the Eagles, Mike, should have their own reality show. The Real Husbands of Philadelphia. I don't know. They always bring in, when they're successful, when they're unsuccessful, they always have some drama. They always have an alternate storyline, a sub-storyline that takes you away from the main thing. They're, as you said, they're 4-2. They were just 4-0 a few days ago, seemingly in control. Shockingly, they give the ball to, in the second half of the Broncos game, they give the ball to Saquon Barkley one time. He ran the ball once in the second half. Saquon Barkley, the best running back season ever last year, 1 carry in the second half of the Denver game. And then last night, after the game, they're asking A.J. Brown about this meeting, because we all thought, oh, it's cool. They had a meeting of Saquon Barkley and Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown, and they talked about the offense. And A.J. Brown says, does the Eddie Murphy? Wasn't me.
Yeah. or I also would have accepted Flick who?
Me.
Right. Yeah, that was weird. That was weird.
That was so strange. Look, I don't recall. He kept saying, I don't recall. I don't recall a meeting. What? They're strange.
I don't know. I don't know how bright the line would be. Maybe it's just dashes, right? Maybe it's connect the dots. You should do they still have connect the dots, you know, and you think you 1 to 2 to 3, and the next thing you know, it's Godzilla. I don't know. But when A.J. Brown went biblical by quoting the verse about if you're not heard or listen to, quietly withdraw, yada, yada. And then that creates a storm. And I golf clapped for them last week, their ability to kind of keep their dysfunction internal and circle the wagons and put the toothpaste back in the tube, even when toothpaste is all over the place. There's still a problem. And can we ... back to A.J. Brown's tweet? Was that the catalyst for where they now are? Because did they try too hard to placate him against the Broncos on Sunday to the detriment of the running game? And then did the whole thing just implode on a short week where you have a multiple-hour meeting? You've only got so many hours from Sunday to Thursday. And you spend multiple hours in the parking lot. I saw Ian Rappaport last night saying it just kind of happened spontaneously on the way to the parking lot and lasted multiple hours. And then one of the guys says it never happened. I don't know what you're talking about. Go talk to them. Everything is weird. There was a spot near the end of the game, Michael, where A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith were sitting on the bench talking to each other. And I couldn't read their lips. But they just had the demeanor of a couple of guys who were like, you believe this shit? That kind of attitude. You know what I mean? So yeah, I hate to blame A.J. Brown because it's not his fault. He was frustrated. But once he pulled the pin on the frustration grenade, I feel like that's when everything blew up.
Yeah, you can't. Well, I think it's too early to blame A.J. Brown, but A.J. Brown, things tend to happen around him. So if it's not his fault, it certainly looks like it's his fault, though. This is not the first time A.J. Brown has exhibited some type of frustration or displayed some type of frustration with the offense. And if you go back, this is like this is a small thing. This is a small thing because nobody is really thinking about it from the Super Bowl. Do you remember this, Mike? You pay attention to this kind of stuff. I bet you remember. Super Bowl, Kansas City last year. Okay, so we all just think about, ooh, Philadelphia really.
All done. There it is. Sorry. There it is.
Yeah. I've had enough of this. You know what this is like when you work at the grocery store? When's my break? Come on. I'm so tired of this. When's break time? But last year, Super Bowl, we all remember how Philadelphia dismantled Kansas City. But early in that game, Nick Sirianni and A.J. Brown had a little interaction where Sirianni says, come on, A.J., because A.J. Brown was complaining in the Super Bowl. People don't remember it because it turned into a blowout. But early in that game, A.J. Brown, I think, was disappointed with something Jalen Hurts did or something the offense did or a ball that he didn't get. And Sirianni said something, just kind of shrugged his shoulders like, A.J., come on, are you kidding me? Early in that game. So this has been going on for a long time, probably for 2 years for A.J. Brown. Last year, the Super Bowl covered it all up. The hug at the end of the Super Bowl conversation recorded between A.J. Brown and Jalen Hurts. And there's, hey, isn't this great? Isn't this awesome for us? But it's not awesome. They got problems, and maybe it is. Maybe A.J. Brown is at the center of it, or he's the one who is willing to call it out.
Well, and I have a hard time saying this is his fault. His tweet was the catalyst, and ideally he keeps those thoughts to himself, and he knew it was a mistake. I mean, he did the trifecta of, I apologize for the tweet. The tweet doesn't mean what you think it means. These are not the droids you're looking for. And yeah, I'm frustrated. Wouldn't you be? So there's a point where he's not handling it the right way. But he clearly has been pushed and pushed. We all get to that point at some time in our lives where we're pushed and we're pushed and we're pushed, and we take it and we take it and we take it. And when we finally react, it seems irrational. It seems disproportionate. It seems over the top because we haven't been saying anything the whole time. We've just internalized it and overlooked it and tolerated it until that last straw. And whatever that last straw was, that's what sparked the tweet that we just put on the screen. And the efforts last week to say everything is fine, and the question to Jalen Hurts, what's your relationship with AJ? It's good. Clench jaw, frown. It's good. How's it, how's it changed in recent years? Oh, we're just two guys that love football. Well, that's a pretty broad, there's plenty of people that hate me that love football, and I love football too. So if you're looking for things in common to build bridges, that ain't it.
Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.